Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing another fragrance video for you. It's been a little while since I've done one and I've been getting some requests to do another one, and I polled you guys on IG stories what you wanted to see. If you wanted to see my favorite fragrances of all time or fragrances dedicated to fall, and fall won, so that is what we're doing today. We're doing a top 5 fall fragrance video. I love these fragrances. I'm going to show you. If you're familiar with my scent preferences, these also won't surprise you. When it comes to fragrance for me, I'm usually seasonal and I like to switch them out based on the season. Mainly for me, I just have spring, summer, and then fall, winter. So this kind of falls into winter as well for me. But when I think of fall, I think of these fragrances, and these are what I'm definitely going to be reaching for this season. So I know fall isn't until late September, but as soon as it turns September 1st for me, I'm all fall vibes. These are the best fall fragrances for me. So I am switching out my summer, moving into fall. These are what I'm going to be wearing, and these are what I recommend you checking out. Even if I'm not getting ready every day, I love to put on fragrance. It makes me feel more put together and just something that makes me feel better, even if I'm not all dolled up like I am today. Now that you know my whole thought process behind this, we're going to jump right in to my top 5 fall fragrances. My first fragrance, and one of my most loved, it might be my most loved. I have so many good ones here though, so it's hard to pick. This isn't in any particular order. This is just the fragrances I'm switching out, and I'll be using these. And this is a go-to one of mine. As soon as this was released, I fell in love with it. This is the Givenchy L'Interdit, and this is a eau de parfum. And you'll notice with a lot of my fragrances for fall, they start turning into this amber color. So in the spring, summer, I have a more pink tone to most of my fragrances, and then it goes this color for me. Just coincidental, but I do find that I reach for fragrances with this color. This is the bottle right there, distorting my mouth talking. L'Interdit also comes in a toilette version as well, which is a little bit lighter. I do prefer the EDP just because it has this sophisticated, musky, deep scent to it that I absolutely love. So you will notice with a lot of my fall fragrances, they tend to be white florals predominantly, and they do have some musk and some sophistication and elegance to it, and that is what I would really describe this fragrance as. It's very elegant. And I'm not the type of person to list off all the fragrances. I just describe them how I smell them as an average consumer of fragrances. I can't pinpoint individual notes in fragrance, but for me, this is very elegant and probably one of my most reached for fall fragrances, if not my top fall fragrance. This does have a little bit of patchouli in it and vanilla, which I feel like really makes a nice cozy fragrance. More so for this, I think tuberose is the main note that you'll get in it. As I said, white floral for me predominantly, and I just absolutely love this. It's intoxicating. Like, you smell this, it is so good. I haven't decided what I'm gonna wear today, but honestly, I cannot get enough of this fragrance. I got a ton of people onto this. Highly recommend checking it out. And then for my next one, this is also one that I fell in love with. This is so good too. I could see my husband also wearing this. So for me, this is both feminine and masculine. It's unisex, I feel. I feel anyone can honestly pull this off. Like, it smells so good. Now, let me tell you what this beautiful scent is. It is from YSL. I should really stop putting these in front of my face. This is the YSL Libre fragrance. Again, with that amber liquid, the bottle of this is just to die for. I absolutely love how the YSL just wraps around the bottle. It is such a beautiful design. As I was saying, to me, this is a unisex fragrance. It has that masculinity in it that I absolutely love. For fragrance, I lean towards personally liking colognes more for men than what is geared towards female fragrance. And I think regardless if you're a man or a woman, you should wear whatever you want to wear. Like, I will go into my husband's cologne collection and wear that because I just love how they smell. And I know everyone's different for fragrance, but for me, for fall, I'm going to his colognes even more. So this is one of those ones that if you like that sort of balance between masculinity and femininity in this, I feel like it's a really good balance. This is another white floral, but it's not as woody as Linterdy, and it doesn't have that patchouli vanilla base that I really notice for that one, and I feel is super cozy. This is more of a fresh spray for me. So I can see both sexes wearing this. It just smells so good to me. And this is another one that I really gravitate towards in fall. Day or night for both Givenchy or the YSL. I'll wear them either or. These also go into winter for me, but definitely these are fragrances that I don't reach for in the spring and summer. Like, these are fall to me. This next fragrance is actually an impression of the original. So I recently got into the company Oil Perfumery. I picked up a bunch of scents from them to see if they matched ones that I currently had. And they do really good dupes of high-end fragrances, but they have them in an oil, so they don't have any alcohol in it. So as I said, this is from Oil Perfumery. I will list their website down below, but they are a fantastic company if you're looking for really expensive fragrances dupes. So again, they're just their impression of these really expensive fragrances or just colognes, perfumes in general. They do a really good job. This is Oil Perfumery's impression of the Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait, and I love this one for fall. The original of this scent for me is a year-round scent, but specifically for me, I think fall for this because this has this almond scent to it. Right when I smell it, it's very almond. So if you do not like the scent of almond, like a sweet almond, you would not like this. But again, this is another, I feel, cozy, sexy scent for fall. And I just want to eat this, personally. It doesn't have the same kind of base notes as the other two. Definitely not a white floral for this one. This one just has this most delicious scent. And if you've ever smelt Baccarat Rouge, you will know, like, it's like my love for Burberry Her, which you guys know I talk about all the time, but made for fall. As I said, it has almond, which is very predominant in this, and it's something that I highly recommend checking out. For a bottle of this, it costs, how much was it? $553 Canadian. So I've never actually invested in the full size of this fragrance, but I know that I will eventually one day pick it up. This kind of holding me over because this is, I think it was under $22 for a 10 milliliter oil, and they don't have any alcohol in it. So these are going to last you a lot longer because alcohol breaks down the fragrance. These are very convenient because they come in roller balls. I personally like applying my fragrance so that you have to be very close to me, giving me a hug almost, to smell the fragrance lightly on me. I don't like bathing myself in scent. I just like to have a very light, soft scent to me. This has a cult following, Baccarat Rouge. I know so many people who love it. And the Extrait is perfect for fall, I feel. The other one is year-round. This one is more fall appropriate just because of the gourmand notes in it. But I highly recommend that. And if you haven't checked out Oil Perfumery, definitely do so because they do have these higher-end fragrances that you can try their versions of in oils for like $15. They have some coupon codes every now and then too. Great site to check out. And then my fourth fragrance, which you're gonna either love or hate the bottle of this. I used to love the bottle, and now it just kind of stands out in my collection just because, well, you're gonna see, it's a high heel. So this is the Carolina Herrera Good Girl, and this is another one that I reach for fall, winter, and I will wear this at nighttime mostly. The other three fragrances that I just mentioned are my daytime, typically, fragrances, and this would be more nighttime fall for me. It is such a sexy, complex fragrance. It is also super yummy. The notes in this, you read and you just think that would smell delicious. Again, there's so much to this fragrance when I smell it. It also is predominantly a white floral, which I personally love, but it has this sweetness to it and also a lot of, I think it's tonka bean, that really brings it down for that sweetness and just makes it more nighttime and sexy is what I think for this. So if you're looking for a good nighttime fall fragrance and those notes just appeal to you that I'm going to put on the screen, definitely check this out. It smells so good. Like, this smells extremely high-end and rich and luxe. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just super sexy and complex. It's a go-to of mine. My fifth and final fragrance I recently got into, so you won't see too much gone in this, but this is my fifth and final fragrance for fall. Fifth and final fragrance for fall. Too many F's in that one. So this is the Guerlain Mon Guerlain, also an EDP, which all my fragrances are. Rarely do I pick a toilette over a EDP, but this one is more of my vanilla sweet go-to. So if you want something warm, but also has that sweetness, more of a cozy, sweet, very feminine and girly, this one, I feel like, then you'd really like this. This one, again, a ton of people like this fragrance too. I smell vanilla more than anything in this fragrance, so if you're really into vanilla fragrances, then you're gonna like this one. So that is the one that I've recently been wearing. It's kind of my transition from summer to fall, this one, because of the vanilla in it, and I just feel like it's a little bit sweeter, but a good transitional fragrance. The other ones are just dead in fall, my go-to. This has a little bit of bite to it when you initially spray it, but it definitely calms down and cozies up. It has this aromatic quality to it when you initially spray it, and it really goes down to that vanilla quite quickly for me. So the initial spray of this, I never cared for, but for me on my body, I absolutely love this. I had to get past the initial phase of this fragrance for the dry down, because after that, it is so good. That's one thing about fragrances, because I could not like it at the initial spray, but you really got to see how it wears on you and how it dries down, because it can change on everyone's skin. These are all my favorite to personally wear that I feel like smell the best on me. My go-to for fall. If you've tried any of these fragrances, definitely let me know if you're into any of the same kind of category, like a white floral, a good musky scent for fall. Leave it down below as well. And if you're interested in seeing my top fragrances of all time, I was going to include a bunch of my year-round scents in that video that I think you can wear any time and get away with. I think that will be a good fragrance video for my next one. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments as well. If you enjoy my fragrance videos, please give it a thumbs up so that I know to continue doing these. I hope this helps you out, maybe find a new fragrance for fall. These are all my go-tos. I know fragrance is such a personal preference, and it's hard to do describing it in video when you can't actually smell them, but I hope my basic descriptions of these fragrances, plus the addition of the notes on the screen, can maybe help you out in making a purchase. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know some of your favorite fragrances in the comment section below and your recommendations for me. I'd love to know, and I will see you guys in my next video.